Agaya, ubuntu, and welcome to our meditation on this waning moon. As we begin, I'd like to invite everyone to take a moment and think about the world around them. Think about what you see when you look out your window, when you step outside. And yes, there's chaos and hubbub. There's lots of imperfections. And yet, just let your mind's eye wander to something that's truly beautiful. Maybe it's white clouds hanging in the blue sky. Maybe it's a tree full of green leaves. Maybe it's a little flower pot with vividly colored flowers. What is something you can see any day that brings you joy, that brings you gratitude? I invite you to just focus on that for a moment now. As we move into this meditation, first I will actually take a few moments just to tell you a little bit about Novasutras, talk about why we celebrate the moon phases. Then we'll begin our meditation session by calling the corners, a practice that really allows us to connect with the place that we are, open ourselves to the wonder and joy and sacredness all around us, and really awaken our own love and connection and send that out. After we call the corners, we'll settle more into a standard meditation, and I'll take you through a meditation that's appropriate no matter what your level of meditation experience, just an opportunity to really settle in, reset, and visualize taking advantage of the wisdom that we see in the metaphor of the waning moon, and then working us through a process of coming into love and gratitude with the world. At the end of the meditation time, there will be, for those who are on the Zoom call, a little bit of time for conversation and reflection. So as we begin, again, I ask you to bring into your mind that thing that's just outside your door that you can recognize as beautiful, that lights you up, that brings you joy. And feel gratitude for that. Really let that wash over you. Perhaps, depending on where you are, the waning moon has not yet set. And if you see that in the sky, that may be one of the things that brings you joy, one of the things for which you can be grateful. This is the time of the waning moon for everyone on the planet, for all beings on the planet. In Novasutras, we celebrate these phases of the moon because they are global phenomena. These are about the relationship in the position of the sun, the moon, and the earth. And right now, the moon is about at right angles to where the sun is. So if you're somewhere where the sun has just risen, the waning moon will be high in the sky. If you're somewhere where it's midday, the waning moon will be to the west. In the late afternoon and evening, you won't see the moon. If it's nighttime, after midnight, you may see the waning moon rising. Part of the intention of Novasutras is to really help us remember that we are earthlings, that we are a species inhabiting a rare and precious and beautiful planet. We have this opportunity to experience the waning moon as a global species and think about it as a way to bring us all together. In the Novasutras movement, we reflect on our two core concepts as a way to help us situate ourselves, really think about where we are on the planet and how we relate to all of the beings around us. And these two key concepts in the Novasutras movement we call agaya and ubuntu. Agaya is a new word created from the merger of agape, a term meaning transcendent or spiritual love, really recognizing this kind of love that resonates through us, that incorporates a sense of wonder and awe, this kind of deep, peaceful joy of being connected. And what we are connected with is the living earth itself, Gaia. Scientists recognize Gaia as the self-organizing capacity of all living beings on the planet to create conditions that support and encourage ever more complex life. Gaia is this amazing creative capacity that is present in evolving life, that helps to build complexity and build relationships. These relationships we really focus on with our term Ubuntu. And really, this is a term that comes from the languages of Southern Africa that recognizes the way that humans are profoundly interdependent, that our very identity is based on our relationships to others. Archbishop Desmond Tutu has described Ubuntu as realizing I am because we are. Each person is only who they are because of their community and their relationships to others. This is true between people, but as science continues to reveal for us, this is true between living organisms all around the world. Flowering plants only produce the beautiful flowers they do to attract animals who help them in pollination and reproduction. Plants are also dependent on the microorganisms and other animals in the soil. Animals, in turn, can't produce their own food. They can't capture energy the way that plants can. So all animals depend on the action of plants capturing the light from the sun, turning it into food, which is then consumed by some animals that may later be consumed by others. Even deeper, when we look inside ourselves, we find that the very origins of multicellular life, the plants and animals and fungi, are actually about a merger between two different cell types. And we actually carry the DNA of these other organisms, mitochondria, that became partners with the larger cells that our bodies are made out of. Ubuntu is a foundational aspect of life on Earth. So now I'm going to invite you to really settle in. And we'll start by doing a ritual that helps us connect with agaya and ubuntu, connect with our place in the world. We do this by sending out our wishes for beings to abide in agaya and ubuntu, to really live the joy of that wonderful co-creative connection. We'll go around the compass directions, up and down, and then we'll start where we are and radiate out. So I invite you to imagine and really visualize the place that you're in. As we do this, you'll hear, I'll describe the direction or the place, and then you'll hear abide in agaya and ubuntu. And if you want to just say aloud, along with that, abide in agaya and ubuntu, you'll get the rhythm of that. So I invite you to join me as we call the corners. Where I am, it's morning, so we'll be starting in the east. I'm getting a note that someone is having trouble hearing me. I tested my mic and I think it's okay, so I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry about that.
I got you now.
Okay. Okay. So starting in the east. May all beings to the east abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all beings to the south abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all beings to the west abide in agaya and ubuntu. And may all beings to the north abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all beings above abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all beings below abide in agaya and ubuntu. May each of us abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all the beings near us abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all the beings in our watershed abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all the beings in our bioregion abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all the beings on our landmass, our continent or island, abide in agaya and ubuntu. May all the beings in the world's great oceans abide in agaya and ubuntu. And may all beings belonging to Earth's beautiful, bountiful, beneficent biosphere abide in agaya and ubuntu. Now I'm going to invite you to really settle in. Close your eyes if you'd like. Just lower your gaze. Feel the weight of your body being supported by our generous, loving earth. Feel the breath moving in and out of you, cycling the way the moon cycles and changes. A little bit different at each moment as it comes into your body and leaves your body. Everything dynamic and yet with a predictable, beautiful rhythm. Whatever gives you the most comfort and ease right now. Just feel the breath moving in and out of you. Let it lead you. Feel your spine lift as you inhale. Feel your body settle and relax as you exhale. And on your next inhale, I invite you to feel it drawing up the energy from the earth, the way a tree draws water up from its roots, all the way to the top. And then release it out into the world. Each inhale you take, you're bringing in beautiful oxygen created by a tree, created by tiny phytoplankton in the ocean. Each exhale, you're letting go the carbon that no longer serves you, the things you're done with, released in each exhale to go out into the world. That carbon dioxide you exhale will be taken up by green living things built into their very bodies. They are nourished by your exhales, just as you are nourished by their exhalation. This beautiful cycle of exchange, of dynamic change, of letting go and taking in. At these times when we most notice the changing shape of the moon, that shape is just reflected sunlight. It's about changing angles. It's about new perspectives. As we see the moon waning, the moon actually sees the earth waxing, growing brighter in the light of the sun. Right now, things are balanced. We see a quarter moon, half of the lit side, half of the dark side. The moon sees a quarter earth, half of the lit side, half of the dark side. Think about all of the ways that even through change and disruption, your body finds ways to maintain its balance. The breath moving in and out, cycles of activity and rest. No two moments the same. All of them patterned on change. Changes that have come before, changes that are coming soon. Some things emerging into bright light, some things waning and fading into darkness. Things in your life that are moving into the foreground. Things in your life that may be receding. Some of these cycles take place over just a few moments. The duration of a cycle of breathing in and out. Some of them, like the changing light and angle of the sun, different every few minutes, every hour, cycling over a span of a day. Some cycles slower, more gentle. Changing day by day, week by week, coming back around every month. Some cycles more like those of the earth moving around the sun, changing very gradually, barely noticeable from day to day, yet always different, always in this spiraling direction. Some cycles are longer than that, cycles of generations of humans, cycles that take centuries, millennia, as our sun moves around the galaxy. The change imperceptible over the span of a human life, but always there, always in motion, always changing. As we move into the waning moon, just now, imperceptibly, a little less than that quarter full, moving toward a slimmer and slimmer crescent of moon shining down on the earth. The earth is waxing, growing brighter from the perspective of the moon, a little bit more into the light every day. The waning moon asks us, what are you ready to let go of now? What are you done with? What can you breathe out? What are you ready to release? Take a moment to do that now. With each exhale, letting go of the things that are no longer serving you. Just letting those out. Releasing their energy so that they may be taken up by something that can benefit. Just as the carbon dioxide you exhale can be taken up by a great oak or sequoia, building something beautiful and enduring only because you let it go. Feel the way that exhale cleanses you and nourishes others. And now notice the other part of that cycle, taking in the breath that the trees have exhaled, taking in what's going to nourish you, give you energy and strength, bring you more life, more vibrancy, more power. Feel that moving into you and lighting you up. Feel the way beings all over the planet are in this dance of letting go and taking in, inhaling, exhaling, becoming, creating together. Exchanging energy, exchanging nourishment. Feel how you are part of that exchange, that dance of emergence and recession, of creation and disintegration, living and dying, growing and aging. All of these cycles with their dynamic balance, light and shadow. It's only through ubuntu, through our interdependence and interconnection, that all of us survive, that all of us create the world that supports us. Allow yourself to feel connected with that wonder of interdependence and co-creation. All of the amazing complexity and dynamism, all of that change, allowing the new and beautiful to emerge. Even that process of letting go, things dying and decomposing, they're creating the space for new life, for new emergence, releasing resources, allowing new possibility. We thank the beauty of the waning moon for reminding us that that process of release is beautiful, is part of the cycle, is part of what connects us. Feel yourself as part of this amazing global dance of change, letting things go, letting new things come in. Take that into the center of you and then offer it out, sending wishes of agaya and ubuntu out into the world, sharing that gift of creativity and emergence, of taking in and releasing. Ubuntu and agaya moving through you. Ubuntu and agaya as a gift given to you by the world. Ubuntu and agaya as a gift you give to all beings. And now, gently settle yourself back into your body. Feel that gift of support that the earth gives to you, holding your weight, providing you nourishment, caring for you. Feel it settle in where your feet connect with the earth, where the weight of you settles down. And as you inhale, feel also the way that all beings are lifting you up, giving you energy. Feel the lengthening of your spine. Feel your head rise. And when you're ready, very gently open your eyes and come back into the beautiful place that you are. I'm going to invite us now to take a little time. If there's anything that anyone wants to share, anyone wants to say. We in the Novasutras community thank all who have taken this time to meditate on our waning moon. As you care for yourself, you're caring for the community. You are helping us to build a world of ever greater agaya and ubuntu. If you know others who might benefit from practices like these, please invite them to join us for our next meditation. We'll be offering another moon meditation on Tuesday for the new moon. Tomorrow we'll be offering an opportunity to process climate or eco grief, to really think about the pain that we may experience for the world and all of its challenges right now, and support each other in working through that and transmuting that grief, recognizing it as a reflection of our love, and a source of our power. You're also invited to join us for our open discussions every Monday and Thursday. And of course, we'd really love for you to join us for our next octal meditation at the equinox. You can support our work through financial support through Patreon. Find the link on the website. You can also support our work by becoming a Novasutras uplifter and helping us out. You can always find more information on our website and on most of the usual social media channels. And I invite you to really enjoy the beauty of the waning moon. And in particular, tonight, wherever you are, the moon will be behind the earth right at sunset. So it will be darkest just after twilight ends. And tonight will be the peak of usually the most spectacular of the meteor showers that Earth encounters on its orbit around the sun. This is the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. So in the hours just before midnight, the sky should be at its darkest, and you should be able to see lots of meteors if you get out there. Again, thank you for joining us for this waning moon meditation. Ubuntu and agaya. Be well.